Hello everyone, welcome to Five Set Test Match where we talk about two of my favorite sports, tennis and cricket. And some sad news coming out for tennis fans today as Wimbledon has decided to cancel its tournament for the 2020 edition. Of course, there were a lot of rumors circulating for a certain period of time now whether Wimbledon would take place or not, but due to the severity of the coronavirus, it is now confirmed, it is official that the tournament will not be taking place, and a statement was released by the All England Club which stated, "It is with great regret that the main board of All England Club and the Committee of Management of the Championships have today decided that the Championships 2020 will be cancelled due to public health concerns linked to the corona epidemic." Of course, it's a sensible decision, definitely, because for those of you who don't know, grass requires a certain temperature to be maintained, and they can't really postpone it to the autumn time like the French Open did, which I'll and there's certain controversy regarding the French Open which I'll come to later as well. So initially people were thinking that they might postpone it to the Olympic slot, but the Deputy Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Jenny Harries, I think that's the correct way of pronouncing it, stated that the England life won't be back to normal for at least 6 months. So I think the All England Club were pretty much following her advice, and just I think made the sensible decision in the end to cancel. Again, sad news for Federer fans, particularly like me. But another piece of news coming off, and this is by the German Tennis Federation Vice President Dirk Hordoff, who gave an interview to the Le Croix. I think that's the correct way of pronouncing it. It's a French magazine, I think, and he was quoted as saying, "This is not the French way of doing things." He's talking about the postponement of the French Open tournament from May to September. Yeah, he was quoted as saying, "This is not the French way of doing things. It's Bernard Gudicelli's way of doing things." Elections were coming up in Feb 2021, and he wanted to score some points on his opponent. His decision to also cancel the qualifying tournament was intended to be a biscuit for the ITF president David Haggerty, since it would make the Davis Cup finals in Madrid in November even more financially attractive to all players who did not have the opportunity to earn money with the Roland Garros qualifying tournament. He hoped to have the ITF on his side, but now he is alone against the rest of the world, said Hordoff, adding that the ATP is threatening to remove the ranking points assigned to Roland Garros for both 2020 and 2021. That's big news, really. So it does seem like the French Tennis Federation is against the rest of the world, and it was. I mean, they in a way it's sort of shows the passion of the French people that they want to have a tennis tournament, but definitely the way they went about with their business is a bit questionable, because they didn't really concern the ATP, the WTA, the ITF, or because every single Grand Slam has a separate body governing it, and they didn't consult anyone and just made the move without even consulting the players. So I think this decision could be reversed and will be reversed based on the threats that the ATP are making to it, because let's face it, if there aren't any ranking points at stake, I'm not sure whether a lot of players will bother participating in, and they might actually choose the US Open over the French Open, because it's a week's gap between the two, and the US Open is happening before the French. I don't know, we'll have to see, but I personally think there won't be any Grand Slam tennis taking place in this year because of the severity of the virus. I hope all of you guys are keeping safe and keeping up and practicing social distance, which is the most important thing right now. You guys can also think, which tennis player would this hurt the most out of the big three I'm talking about? And I think, as sad as it is, I think it'll hurt Roger Federer the most, because he was going to turn 39 in August, and the older you get, the more difficult it is for you to find rhythm. Whereas Nadal, Djokovic, they're not getting any younger themselves, but I still think they'll find it a lot easier than Federer. Also, Federer, will be coming off a knee surgery, which, by the way, does not look too serious, because I'm not sure whether you guys have seen his videos on. He's released a video of him practicing by himself in his garage. I don't know where it is really, but he's practicing in the snow. He's jumping around, and it does not seem as if his surgery was a serious one, because I don't think he'd be allowed to be doing what he is doing in such a cold weather and in such a short amount of time. So that's good news for the Federer fans. It's still unpredictable, really, regarding the Grand Slam race, because you can never count Nadal out on clay. Federer proved to us back in 2017 that you can't count him out either. He won 2 slams, Australian Open and Wimbledon. We will forget the final in which he defeated Rafael Nadal, which really no one could see coming. Well, I didn't. I'm not sure who did, because Federer hadn't beaten Nadal in 10 years in a Grand Slam match, and that too in a final. I still believe that Djokovic is still the favorite to catch and overtake Federer, because he's a machine really, and I think the meditations that he does, the diet and everything, they really are working for him. I just feel that his body and soul are sort of, every time he's on court, he just looks unbeatable. It's very difficult to get through him. I think only Nadal on clay is probably his biggest challenge at this point. But let's see. It's interesting, because the young guns are coming up. How will that affect them? Will they lose momentum as well? Will they, Dominic Thiem, Medvedev, Zverev was trying to play better. Medvedev was on a bit of a slide, so maybe this break could help him actually, get his mentality and that winner's mentality back, because he did so well in the hardcourt season last year. Nearly took it to Nadal. I've never seen Nadal getting tired in a Grand Slam match, and that was the first time. He still managed to pull it through. So it's going to be interesting. We know there's no tennis taking place this year probably, but it's going to be interesting what happens in maybe the late part of 2020 and the early part of 2021. It's all up in the air now. Hope you guys are staying safe. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you.